Obviously not tremendously pleased with the first half, but was pleased how we came out in the second half and played better. We're a young football team. We're inexperienced. I don't know if we're trying too hard, but it didn't look very good in the first half, which, again, I don't know if that's a coaching error as far as we didn't have these guys ready, short week, come up with a bunch of different excuses, but proud of the way they came out in the second half and responded to what we said to them at halftime and came out and got a bunch of snaps, which hopefully will make us a better overall team. Questions?
What'd you say at halftime?
Coach,
as far as you really want me to repeat it?
Yeah, I probably.
Yeah, I'm sure. From a team perspective, defensively we gave up 4 field goals. We didn't 3 and out them. We didn't get any turnovers. They just lethargically drove down the field several times, and then we decided to throw up the wall. Offensively, they were giving us the run all night, and we weren't sustaining blocks. Receivers were they were giving us the middle of the field, and receivers refused to get by people without running right into them. Running backs decided they wanted to tiptoe a bunch. Special teams wise, we decided we wanted to bobble a snap. We decided to punt it out of bounds. We didn't play hard on the kickoff team, so it just the whole thing. And we just addressed it and said, you guys are in a game, you better get out there and fix it.
did you make any adjustments at halftime?
No, none. It ran the
None
same
at
plays.
all?
No, ran the same plays in the second half we did in the first half. It was all about effort and playing with some tempo. We were dragging. We were dragging. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. Other than we probably just didn't respect our opponent, which we talked about respecting them all week.
Were you concerned at all at halftime?
Well, I think everybody was. Are we far from a finished product? I assume we're far from a finished product. I don't know if we're supposed to score every time we snap it, or we're supposed to sack them every time they snap it. But it's called football, and you got to practice and you got to take a bunch of snaps in order to get better.
And the defense, talk about that. I mean, hasn't given up a touchdown in 2 games now. Pretty impressive for Coach Castille's team.
Yeah, too many yards in the first half. Part of that was offensively, we put them on the field a bunch. I don't know how many snaps they took in the first half. They got 63 on the, I don't think they had any in the second half, but they gave up too many yards in the first half. We're more comfortable with our defensive scheme than we are our offensive scheme now. We're a little more experienced over there. I'm happy with the way they throw up the wall there in the red zone. We got to get off the field, and we got to create turnovers, and we're not doing that consistently right now.
Danny, you talked about blocking problems. Was it better the second half? Did you see improvement there, or was it still a problem?
No. It run game, not good. We're usually targeted right, but we're not finishing blocks. I'm just not, and some of it is our running backs are young and they're not hitting it like they need to. It's not what we want right now, and we got to get better at it. Pass protection wise was fine. They were only rushing 3. They were dropping everybody, and we did a better job of attacking where the grass was in the second half.
Just before halftime, you got a chance to go out leading 10-9 by just running a play and,
we're not ever going to concede on that. We had a minute and 30 seconds, which is plenty of time to move down the field and score. I mean, a minute and 30 seconds is that we didn't. That's why I didn't call a timeout, is because when we got the ball back with about a minute and 30, that's plenty of time. We just didn't execute.
What did you see out of your running backs? All of them were able to get into the day, Trey, and all the rest?
I don't know yet. You got to study that a little bit more careful. Dustin did a good job of coming in and sparking us there in the third quarter, made a couple of big plays. Bernard, I think, probably ran the hardest, You got to study a little bit more.
Yeah, you're better in the red zone in the second half. You said you called the same plays. What worked there that wasn't the first?
We didn't call it. We called the same stuff.
Right.
It's not. I can assure you, it's nothing schematically. I'm not saying that we know everything about coaching or we're reaching our kids or whatever it is. I can assure you, it's nothing schematically. We just didn't decide to put a bunch of plays together that haven't been proven to work. It's about being a work in progress and just getting better. Like, we're young, we're inexperienced, we can't use those as excuses. We got to get better, and we got to take these snaps that we did today, and we got to learn from it and get better.
And you talked about the tempo early on. Are they having a hard time getting to where you want them to be as
Yeah.
far as that goes?
Yeah, we don't understand it. We don't understand it. The only way I can get them to line up fast is by yelling at them, you know, and that's we don't get it, and we're gonna have to continue to improve on it. You know, when the play's over, we got to hop up and we got to play with some tempo and get lined up and be ready to do something the very next snap. And all we do is slug around for about 10 seconds after each snap. It's frustrating, but we'll keep working at it.
Man, what does it say that you put 55 points up there and yet doesn't sound like there's a great deal of satisfaction in what transpired out there for most of the day?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just the way we coach, you know. I mean, we're going to keep them accountable for what they do wrong. We're going to keep them accountable for what the team does, what the unit does, and you know, there's not a whole lot of satisfaction that's involved in it right now. We got a long ways to go.
Dana, Gino's play from game 1 to game 2, is he just performing at a high level, or do you think he's getting better?
He needs to get better. You know, he missed some checks. He got his eyes off me a couple of times and got the wrong check. You know, so that needs to never happen. If it happens one time in a game, it happens too many times. So he plays well. He gets tempo. He plays with some bounce and some enthusiasm and has a voice on the sidelines, which he's about the only voice that we have on the sidelines right now, based on a bunch of inexperienced guys that won't step up and be leaders. But you know, accuracy, he's good. Understanding where to go with the ball, he's good, but it can all get better.
Coach, is Bowie limited by the injury or just ineffectiveness?
Yeah, his shoulder was sore. He had a tweaked up hamstring and stuff. So yeah, he didn't practice all week. So if you don't practice, and Nealon, he had a concussion from last week. So if you don't practice, you're not going to play.
How important was it for Millard to get some playing time?
I'm sorry.
Millard, how important was that?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Of course, we put him in there, and we decided to become a quarterback run team because he, whatever it was. It's just inexperience. I mean, he's gonna screw some things up, and the O-line's gonna screw some things up. I mean, that's just part of the process. We got some guys that can make some plays, but we don't have a whole lot of rhythm offensively right now.
Dana, I think one time in the first half, 6 straight plays from 1 yard line, couldn't get it in. What's going through your mind when stuff like that happens? Has that happened to you before?
No, it's flat out embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing. I don't have an answer for you. I mean, if you want to say it's scheme, say it's scheme, but it's the same stuff we've done for a long time, and if we can't come off and move people, then it's not good.
What did you see at Norfolk State? What did they do to cause some problems in the first half?
We got off blocks, they made a big play early on that post, and then, got, just hung in there, and then the more, and like I said, offensively, we didn't do anything, they got off blocks all day long in the first half and forced a bunch of 3 and outs and put our defense back out there, and, and then the more snaps our defense plays, the more they're going to have to suck it up. I mean, that's just part of being a team. So probably had a little bit more to do with what we were doing than what they were doing.
You mentioned blocking. I think you had Quentin Spain at left guard there for a couple plays. Are you guys pleased where you have people on the offensive line, or are you still trying to figure out maybe where guys fit best? I'm
not pleased with anybody right now. I mean, with offensive line or receivers or running backs, no matter what it was. I mean, like I said, we got a couple of guys that can make a few plays, but we're not pleased with anybody right now.
How challenging is it to learn how to motivate this team, if you're talking about effort and tempo as a staff, to kind of learn how, this group operates?
It's just work in progress, It's work in progress.
Do you guys hear the boos in the first half? The fans were kind of getting after you guys a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't pay attention to that. I mean, they probably had a few good reasons. But I would do too. I mean, I don't pay attention to that. I mean, it's not my job to pay attention to that. If they want to do it, go ahead and do it. I know it didn't look very good, but we're trying our best.
And there's some coaches, some places who,
What's that?
there are some coaches, some places they'll go vanilla, whatever, before they play a big team coming up when they have a 1AA this week. I don't imagine such a thing exists with you.
No, we just, we watch film and look at what their scheme is and try to come up with some plays to attack it, and that's all three sides of the ball. We didn't do anything to prepare for this game that we didn't do for the Marshall game, so we'll get in here tomorrow and we'll study it and we'll try to get better as a team and we'll try to, start watching film on Maryland and game plan it all day Monday and try to come up with the best scheme that we can on all three sides of the ball and practice to where we can try to get good at it.
Did you see
Coach,
them
I
play
noticed you don't wear a
Miami? Did
hat.
you see them play Miami?
Not really. I mean, I kind of watched it like some other people watched it on the, on TV, but I haven't studied it yet. That's what tomorrow and Monday are for. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks.